Hello.
Hello, hello.
Day 20. Actually, guess 220. No, day 21 now. But
Another week down. One of the quieter weeks in recent history, which I think we all needed for our sanity. Um,
so
because it was a quieter week, this was finally the first time since pre dropping the ball on New Year's Eve that I've seen a structure to the game and
yeah.
a path that it's moving down. Like I can see a structure to the house and what is happening now. Whereas the last 2 weeks, it's just been nothing but chaos and information flying everywhere. So now I feel like I can accurately give people rankings and talk about like where they will really be going soon. So I'm
hmm
excited for this one.
Me too. Alfred, always a positive one to start on.
Always a positive one.
So let me double check. I'm gonna go.
You had the seven.
I had the 7.
Yes.
Yeah, that checks out. Because I agree with that. I'm gonna keep this off the screen to not confuse people. But okay. Do you want to start, Scott?
Yeah. Um, I will say I think I was a little again with all of the shakiness that was last week. There were a couple of like blind spots and oversights that I had. And one of them was, I think, not being as high on Alfred as I think Alfred was in the game. I do agree in hindsight, and granted, hindsight's 2020. We also know that he's HOH now in the upcoming week, so it's a lot easier for me to say this. But he's in a good spot. No one's the only person that is coming for him is Jacob. Alfred seems like he's going to be making the right move and putting Jacob up on the block this week, even if he's not his correct target. Like he's not making another additional enemy. Um, I think he's playing a very good game. Um, I don't think it is the most rock solid. I think there are some people that will come after him, but I think a lot of people would also be fine to protect him. I'm going to raise. I'll just cut to it. I'm going to raise my score from a 6, and I'm going to go to a 7. I don't think he's in 8 territory for me, just because I think there is still a large element of shakiness to his game, where I think he is the first one targeted of the baddies core group, which also I will go on record saying, thank God we finally have another good core alliance. I'm here for the baddies.
Um, yeah, I mean, actually, I'm going up to an 8. I have been saying this for weeks. Actually, I've been saying this from the beginning. Was he your first pick? Was
Who's
Alfred
that?
your, or do I have Alfred?
You have Alfred.
That's what I'm saying. I knew it from the beginning. Alfred was going to be a strong person, and I feel like going into these final, we're going like middle to end game here, middle to end game. I really see Alfred thriving. I think that he has come close in so many competitions and has won 2. I think that when it comes to these ending competitions, I feel like he's gonna be the one to really take the notes and take like memory and take kind of like know what's gonna come. I think he's always one along with Eric, but he's one that really like looks at the wiki, I think, a lot and kind of looks at it. I think he's gonna know that what's to come. And I think that his gameplay, like just his social connections are so good. I see, I mean, I've said this for the past few weeks. I could see him winning the game.
That's really interesting that you say that because I'm personally of the opposite opinion about Alfred's endgame potential, specifically with the
Mm-hmm.
comps. I agree with you that Alfred has done really well in a lot of these comps. However, that being said, there is a really big shift
Mm-hmm.
in the style of competitions that happen during the season. And that shift is starting to happen now. And in the last few competitions, granted, he did just win this HOH, but there was a lot of teamwork there. I give it to him, but it was the group of 4 of them and that really won this. I don't think he'll be. I think Google Slides is going to kill him. I think like for me, this upcoming veto and how he does on BB Comics is really going to show. And
Mm-hmm.
personally, I don't think he is going to be the one with the notes. I think he's going to flounder in the end, and
I
if
honestly think, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I think he's going to be, I think he's going to be in the end, but I think he's going to be seen as one of, if not the largest threat in the final 6 moving forward. Is how I see Alfred's game going.
I'm looking at the schedule. I think we're gonna get the competition recall or like the first kind of big season trivia competition, and I think he's gonna be like, oh shit. And I think he's really gonna make it.
I feel the way that you feel about Alfred, about someone else from the cast, and we'll talk about them coming up.
I also think that he will. I mean, he's already started to do it, but I think especially once we start to whittle down the numbers, I think he's really going to be the one to be looking at the wiki and trying to figure out what competition is coming next.
Me too.
Um, really, that really has mostly been Eric. Um, but I think I could definitely see him doing that too. He's already utilized the wiki a lot. He always looks at it. Um, so yeah. So
Yeah,
7.
I'm excited for his prospects. I think the baddies is a core group for him, but I do think there are some targets aimed his way. So we'll see. Either way, he's safe through until the final 8, and likely with how the chain goes, in my opinion, the final 7.
Well, so here's what I'm sorry, not to jump ahead to the chain, but um, I mean the chain is really gonna work like people are gonna want to save the people that they're close to, and you only get one person to save. So, I mean, if Ashley and Eduardo are here next week, it's like
I think they're easy. They're chain boots.
so we'll see. Anyway, Ashley.
Perfect segue. I mean, listen, I'll start here. It makes me so sad to say that I'm not impressed because Ashley, in the beginning of the game, was killing it socially, and we just haven't evolved since then. And unfortunately, a game 1 social game cannot be the same as a week 7 social game, and we're just kind of in the same boat. Literally, everyone was making jokes of the fact, and they're so right. The votes coming down to the final hour or so. Ashley's number 1 ally is on the block. And at the same time, after not talking to anyone for a lot of the week, sends everyone the same exact message. Hey, how are you feeling? How's your day? And they're like, did you all just get this from Ashley too? So girl, and she just lost Yoshi, her only person. So, I mean, unfortunately, it breaks my heart because I love Ashley. But flops get 4s, but unfortunately, we're in sub flop territory.
Some flopped out.
This isn't good, Ashley girl. I love you, but you're getting a 3 from me.
I need to start off Ashley's ranking like I have the last few. Ashley, I love you. I really do. I love you. You're so nice. And I've like especially like preseason, I love getting to know you. I still love talking to you. But girl, like what are you doing? Like I actually I feel so bad, but like I have to be honest. Yeah, what are you doing?
I'm masking my feelings of
It's
sorrow.
like it's like I'm
Girl.
like upset for her. I
The the other thing is like when she went on, there was the wheel this week, right? She went on the wheel and was like, oh my gosh, I'm on the wheel? Dang. But I'm like, Ashley, let's think about this. There are 10 people in the game. One of them's HOH. 2 of them are on the block. One of them won the wheel. That means that of the 6 remaining people, 3 of them have to go up. You were that confident that you wouldn't have been in the 50% of people that landed on the wheel. Like, I'm just like, girl, like enough with the you're worried you're doing too much. I'm worried you're doing too much watching paint dry and letting the game go by.
Like I'm
Burn.
so sad because she's gonna watch this and she's gonna be like, "Oh my God, I was really that bad." And like, yeah,
Yeah.
you were,
Yeah,
but
you
also I love
were,
you,
girl.
Ashley. Like usually when people suck, I'm like, yeah, you fucking suck. But now I'm like, I feel
I
bad.
don't want her to be bad.
It like got to the point. It's now bad enough to the point where it's like, oh, people are like making fun of you for how bad you are.
Everyone taught, and that's the thing. It's not a thing of like people just forget Ashley's there. She's not a part of the game. No, like everyone talks about that she's on the outs, which is why
Oh,
she's at a 3 for me.
I'm at a 3 also. We are in sub flop territory.
Sub flop territory.
Bad.
That's not where you want to be.
That's not where you want to be. She started off so high too. Look at her 6.5 here. 7, I think. I think she was at a
She
7.
had a 7 average in week 2.
Oh my gosh.
But she was that girl. But notice how I used the past tense.
Moving
She's
on.
insecure. She knows all that English stuff.
Moving on.
Go Brady, go Brady, go Brady. Listen, I will never. There are a couple of things where I go, ooh, I know I'm gonna eat my words. And week 1, Brady, welcome back to not only Earth, but like the queen of the castle of Earth. She's back from opposite planet. Like she's running the game. Do you know what no one is saying? We need to target Brady. No one's saying it. People aren't even talking anymore like, oh, we could take Brady out whenever. No, people are just like actively working with her now. Let alone the fact that she convinced Eric of all people to not. And listen, she made very valid points. I like literally, I want Brady in these final 2 chairs because her speech at the end, I do not doubt it's going to knock everything out of the park. She really is giving strategy. She really is giving social. She's giving funny. She's giving smart. But you know what she's not giving to people? Threat. It's amazing. It's amazing. I was at a 5 last week. This week was like absolutely insane. Let's go down this list. Yoshi's gone. Jacob doesn't target Brady. Eric, we'll see, but didn't put her up this week. EJ, you know what? Maybe, but we'll see if he's here at the end of this week. Eduardo has no reason to go for Brady. Dowdy's not going for Brady. Dakota's not going for Brady. Alvar's not going for Brady. Brady's not going for Brady. And Ashley, who knows? But again, too busy watching paint dry to do anything. So like she's doing pretty well. And I really think she will always have the votes to stay. So I'm feeling really good. Again, she's still very vocal. I'm on a slow climb for Brady. I'm getting there. I just need to continue to see it. But I'm raising my score to a 6 this week, and I'm feeling good. I'm sorry I'm that low. I'm sorry I'm that low.
You just talked. Do you know how much you just hyped her up to only go to a 6? Barely a green score. Are you kidding me?
You are right.
Like,
You
what are
are
you
right.
talking about? You just said nobody was targeting her. She completely stayed off the block this week, and nobody's even talking about her. And you're like, yeah, let's go.
You know what? You know what? You're right. I'm hearing it. I am at a 7. I'm not at an 8. But if you're there, slay.
Well, okay, wait. I was teetering between a 7 and 8. Now I'm not sure. Now you're got me unsure.
I just think she is a very big name still. You know what I mean? She will never not be a big name.
Yeah, and I don't fully agree with the fact that she'll always have the votes to stay. I don't fully agree with that. Um,
Valid.
with the right voters, sorry, with the wrong voters, with the wrong person next to her, like that can happen to anybody. Especially for her. I think it's tricky because if I was solely looking at this week, I would be going at an 8 because it's like insane. It's like insane how she stayed off the block this week. And I wouldn't call Eric like stupid. Like,
No, I think it was smart. I really think it was smart.
um, but if I'm looking moving forward, like yes, nobody's coming for her, but like she is a big name. And to be honest, like everyone knows how big of a name she is, and I don't think they want to bring her to the final 3. Especially because I think she I mean, she said that she was throwing comps in the beginning, and she's just recently been losing them. I think girl can turn it on if she wants to. If she really wants to, I think she can win something. She's been here for a while. She knows. So I worry about her threat level moving forward, is my thing.
Funny enough, that's not what I'm worried about. I don't think our threat level is going to grow. I only think it's going to shrink.
I don't know, especially as we go towards the end. But my other thought is that so many people have been like Erica said this. I don't know if it's true anymore, but Eric has been like, yeah, no matter who she's next to, like I'm not voting for her in the end.
I think that's changing for
I
people.
think that's changing. Yeah, but
After this week,
that,
that's
but that's
changed.
not my point. My point is the fact that I think people have seen other people say that, and now that might be a reason why they take her to the end. So I'm trying to juggle between like, are people going to take her to the end because people said they weren't going to vote for her, or are people going to take her out because she's loud and she's aggressive and she's clearly been doing. She's clearly still here and has not touched the block yet, and probably after this week, she's probably going to be the only one not to,
One, not two.
which is insane.
She was dead. She week one, we said if Brady makes it out of this pre-jury, wow.
I think that I think that if I'm looking at this week alone and not judging too much moving forward, I'm gonna go up to an 8.
And I think that's fair. I do agree. You're so right. After how much I talked her up, that is not a six. That's not a six. I was being silly. I'll admit to being wrong. That was
You
a
were on
mistake.
opposite planet.
I was on
You took a
opposite
visit. You took a
planet.
visit.
I took a visit to Brady's old stomping grounds. I said hello.
Look at this line. This is insane. This actually might be the craziest climb I've ever seen. Oh my gosh.
Go girl go. Slay it. Yes. Climb.
Okay, Dakota.
Climb the mountain.
Dak.
Another one. Let me give it up. I'll start. So for me, what you
Well,
said about
give it up now because we're gonna start not giving it up soon.
I was gonna say this first half of the list, everyone, give it up for him. No, what you were saying about Alfred, I feel about Dakota. For me,
Mhm.
Dakota's the one with the notes. He's the one that asks us every day. Wait, is this gonna be kind of day 16 or day 15? Wait, is this gonna be this or this? Wait, is blah blah blah. He's ready and he knows. He's also, in my opinion, the only person that I've really seen actively go like Eduardo and Ashley are the people that I want to sit next to in the end. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And of course, if he wins HOH, he's not going to target his allies. But like this week, if EJ goes home, he's in a mighty fine position. And he's also, once we get to the end game, I know he will be ready to cut whoever he needs to. You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
he's been wronged by Eric, he's been wronged by Dally, and these people that are now like close with him, they've done him wrong. So he does not feel any like he is the one that I think is thinking one step ahead of everyone else. And I think that's going to be key. He is the one that I think is really in good with everyone that people don't talk about because people don't see him as a threat. I'm so excited for his prospects. I could go on and on and on. The one flaw I would say is like maybe he's a little too excited to be like, don't trust them, don't trust them, don't trust
Mhm.
them. That's the only thing I'm worried about. But actions speak louder than words. And although his words have been that, his actions have then been like, hold on, they're good for me for now. Let's hold off on a sec. And I'm like, yes, okay, brain, okay, brain using it. Um, I think his position is one of the best in the game. I'm going up to an 8 for Dakota.
Who's calling me? Who are
It
the fake
is
teams?
none other
Dakota
than
and Jacob.
Jacob Taplin.
And Dakota. I think Dakota started the call.
No, Jacob started the call.
You can tell.
Yeah, because it says Jacob Taplin once it says on the notifications.
Oh.
But yes, I'm so excited for like Dakota. Dakota, someone that especially if he makes some moves in the end here, as yeah.
So where are you at?
At an 8. I already put it in.
Oh, you did? Oh, I didn't see that. Um, I agree with what you're saying, and I do also agree with the notes thing. I think he is the one with the most physical notes right now. I agree with that. Um, I don't know. Like something about me just like isn't excited about him right now. Like I'm just not feeling it right now.
I'm excited. I'm on the Dakota train.
And it's like I don't know. Maybe it's just because he like just lied about his vote and he's trying to like wiggle his way out of it. And he's like, I need to edit a screenshot. I'm like, like why? What do you like? I'm so confused. What's going on? Like, I don't know. I think like if I'm being really honest, I think Alfred, Brady, and Dally are they're the front three runners of that alliance. I think Dakota's the one that's kind of hanging behind.
I agree with you, but I think Dakota's the one with the connections outside the alliance and is the one that's going to strike at the alliance first.
I mean, we'll see. But this week I'm saying at a 7. I'm just like kind of partially confused by this vote. And also, like, yes, he said he wants to sit next to Eduardo and Ashley, but like, what happened if 2 more votes flipped this week? Eduardo would have been gone. Like, what are you doing? Like, I was confused by that.
He's not
But
even an explanation though. I mean, I didn't hate like a rogue vote in my opinion. Like, whatever. I don't factor it in because it's stupid. Um,
a rogue vote, but like could have gone wrong, like easily. Like Ashley, Yoshi's closest ally, if she was using her brain, should have voted to keep him. And then one more vote, like Yoshi stay. Like I don't. Like yes, I am excited for Dakota, and I'm excited to see how this game progresses with
he
him.
explained it in his DR as if he's in the final two, use it to get Yoshi's jury vote that he was willing to make the move that Yoshi proposed. Which you know what? Stroke that ego.
Yeah, but I don't understand it. Okay, anyway. Um, Dally. Oh wait, sorry, 1 second. Oh, but it is a 7. Hold on. Look at all of us meeting at a 7.5. Dally.
Another one. Let's give it up for the baddies.
The
Let's give it
bad.
up for the baddies. Listen, I don't have much more to say about Dally this week than I did last week. I think her positioning is very, very similar.
Mhm,
Um, it's very, very similar to what it was last week, and it's very, very similar to that of the other baddies.
mhm,
Um, the things going for Dally are she's, in my opinion, like practically, if she wants to win a comp, she'll win a comp. You know what I mean? The one exception of that being OTEP, and it's because she messed up, not because like she like you know what I mean? Like it was a fluke on her end, not like she didn't actually like she could have won it. Um Dally's another one that's gonna have notes. I really feel like it. She's talked about it. I think if people don't take her out soon, she's gonna be near impossible to take out. My biggest worry for her right now is getting past getting through the end game is my biggest worry for her. But hey, if that's where we're at right now, not a problem to be. Um people Whereas I haven't heard Dakota's name at all. That's why I'm at the 8 for Dakota. People have talked about Alfred. People have talked about Brady. People have talked about Dally. So for that reason, I was at a 7 last week and I'm staying at my 7 again for Dally. But it's a very confident 7. But there are people that are looking at her. The other thing I want to touch upon real fast, I think she very, very, very much misplayed the whole High Rollers Room BB Bucks thing this week. Not only with, I think it was very stupid to spend them. She knew that her entire alliance, like that Brady and Alfred were both competing. She also knew that she would be one of 2 people to be able to go for the final one. And like she got in a fight with Eric over it. Could have
okay,
been handled better. Could have been handled a
okay.
little better. So I'm not going to raise my score, but I felt very confident about Dally's prospects in the game. So 7.
Yeah. For all those reasons, I'm also staying at my 7. I don't think much more to say about Dally, but I do like her. So I am excited to see how this is going to play out moving forward.
Yeah. Let's also talk about this really, really quickly. Um, the end of next week, we will have also, in addition to a normal eviction, we would have had the chain eviction.
Mm.
And thinking about that moving forward, these 4, Alfred, Brady, Dakota, Dally, I, it's so, so extremely, like they can't go.
Well, okay. So let's go through it. Let's assume Eric starts the
Let's
chain.
assume Eric's starting with it. Eric is going to give it to, in my opinion, my guess right now is Dakota.
I would say possibly EJ. If EJ's still here.
I don't think he's going to be here.
That's a big
That's my prediction for the week. Even if EJ is still here, I think he could give it to Dakota still. And as soon as it goes to
I think
Dakota,
EJ is gonna be like, you owe me.
that's true. That's valid.
I think
Um,
Eric's gonna be like, yeah, that's true. I do. You're totally right.
but as soon as it gets to one of the baddies, we sweep through it.
Well, unless it's too late.
But the only way it's too late for two of them to end up on that block is if people who's actively giving this to Ashley and
Well, I
Eduardo.
wonder if people are like, oh, I want a big name out of here. I'm gonna give it to Eduardo or Ashley. I want to keep them off the block.
But the thing is, if Eric's starting it, you don't keep a big name off if it's your alliance. You know what I mean? Like maybe I worry for Jacob. You know what I mean? But like I don't like Brady is not going to give it to Ashley or Eduardo over Alfred Dally or Dakota. You know what I mean?
I think it'll be interesting.
So that's why I feel good about the baddies going into the chain. And we'll see. Something could go horribly wrong. The game could completely change. They could be broken up by then. But I feel great about them moving together as a core four and seeing who strikes first because they're not lock solid to final four. That's not what this is. I'm very excited. I love them. I love them.
Cool. Eduardo.
So sad that we're done talking about the things I love. It was really fun while it lasted, wasn't it? Eduardo. He's another one, like
Um,
Ashley. I want you to be doing well. I want you to. But Eduardo, tell me this. Tell me this. You actively are on the outs. Everyone talked about it. You were actively targeting Eric for having other alliances besides you, God forbid. So when Eric puts you up next to the person that everyone wants out and it's a very clear pawn move, you throw such a fit. I'm like, this is the most energy we've seen from Eduardo all season. And I'm just like, and for what? Granted, like, Dally did the same last week, but like, Jacob putting up Dally was a stupid move, whereas this was a smart move, and Eduardo was very clearly not the target. Like, he doesn't have any. He can't win. Like, I don't know what else to say. I'm just like, your only ally right now is, oh, at least Jacob's FaceTiming more people. Like his only ally right now is Jacob, and I mean, we'll get to him. Where are we again?
Eduardo.
Oh, sorry, subflop territory.
Oh,
Unfortunately, for being on the block this week, and everyone's talking about you being on the outs, you're in the same position as Ashley, and I think you and Ashley are the most likely boots to go in this chain double. So I'm at a 3 for Eduardo.
I'm also going to a 3 for Eduardo. Eddie.
Yeah.
Isn't great.
Pool party's canceled. Someone peed in the pool. Get out.
Nobody knows what that means yet.
Well, they will when they.
Oh yeah. Oh, lines are merging. JK, it's just Ashley and Eduardo. Get me away from that line.
Meeting in subflop territory.
Okay,
Capital of opposite planet.
EJ, Scott's about to come down from his 8.
Yeah, unfortunately, again, this is like
Honestly,
again.
I was like last week. I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I'm not
No,
even
this
gonna
last week I felt very, very confident in it. And it's because he made the like great moves. The reason I'm coming down from the 8 is not because of the moves that he made. You know what I mean? It's because people, in my opinion, now see that he was in an 8 position and was the front runner of the game for a while. Now the baddies have really solidified. They're a united force moving against EJ. I think he is the most likely person to leave this week. Granted, that's because we know who the HOH is. So like my score is not taking that into account. But even just taking into the week that happened account,
Mhm.
granted, Eric was never gonna put him up, but like people were pushing for it. If he stayed on the block, I don't think it's impossible that EJ goes over Yoshi. So yeah,
Mhm.
you go first. You go
Yeah, I
first.
was at a 7. I feel the same way. I mean, usually if someone's A on the block and B potentially going home, usually typically normally stereotypically I'm in the red area.
I'm not going to red. I'll say that right now. But
But yeah, I think I'm gonna settle at a 5 this week because even at the end of this past week, like people were talking about it and really
um, that's I'm unfortunately coming close to it. I'm gonna go to a 6
I wasn't done yet. Okay.
because again, I feel the same way about Dally. EJ can win a comp if he needs to, and if he's in this veto, I do feel strong. And granted, that's not something to necessarily rank gameplay off of, but like if he makes it out of this week, he does have a lot of avenues, and I don't want to
Mhm.
confuse a 5 for knowing that Alfred is HOH, you know? So that's why I'm
I
still at my
agree,
6.
but also like there
Dakota
are,
really was the only one pushing for it. He was pushing hard, and it clearly spread.
that's what I'm saying. Were a lot of opportunities for EJ to be in trouble this week, and this just happens to be one of them. I think.
Um, yeah. Mm-hmm. So
But anything can happen. I mean,
anything could happen. I'm pulling for an EJ
possible
veto
fourth
because he's not
veto
the person
win.
that I want this week.
Possible fourth veto win.
Fingers crossed.
We'll see. All right, 5.5 for EJ. Oof. First time dipping below a 6, by the way. Eric.
I'm hopping back on the Eric train, but it's like I'm like stepping back on, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not riding the train, but I've got my ticket.
The train isn't in full motion yet. The train is
The
like,
train has pulled up to the station and
yeah.
I'm ready to board, but
No, I think you're.
I'm having my little like look back, like, do I really want to leave the world behind moment, you know?
Where does the sinking ship of Alex and Giacomo
Where does
meeting
Alex
David Osborne, submarine,
question? That's a good
Dan
question.
Tatey pirate ship come into this?
I'm taking the train away from opposite planet. Um, yeah. So anyway, let's talk about it. Eric, I think for the first time in a while, fantastic HOH reign.
Seriously,
Granted,
I mean, this has to be one of the best HOH reigns. Like,
I'd call it the best this season. And listen, no shade to Eric, it wasn't anything impressive. It just wasn't bad. Like all the other ones have been
I mean,
practically.
like, yeah, no, like Dally's first HOH, maybe
Galley's first HOH is the only other one that I would consider like just like a good clean
a
HOH.
not failure HOH.
Um, so that. So yes, good job. Got Yoshi out. Huge for his game. Huge. Because now he's got Dakota and Dally looking out for him. He's got Jacob looking. It's a lot of people that are looking out for him for now. And I said this last week. That's the spot that he needs to be in. He is no longer in a position to reassimilate himself into alliances and be the Eric of the pre-jury.
Mm-hmm.
That Eric is can that Eric come to the phone right now? No, because he's dead. You know, that type of vibe. Um,
He's in his reputation era.
he's in a reputation era, and new Eric needs to survive week to week. And that is a game, like that is a very clear the week to week path for Eric is a clear path for him. People, I mean, we were on FaceTime with the baddies tonight. People don't plan on taking him out because they are like, and unfortunately, I think they are right in the fact of like, as soon as he's on the block, he will go home. You know what I mean? Like, it's a matter. Eric's issue isn't like, oh, can I flip boats? Can I yada yada? No, it's like I need to
At the
stay
block.
off the block. And I think he can do it. This week was good. He's not in the clear yet. I'm on the slow climb with Eric. I'm no longer in red scores. I'm going to raise my score to a 5
Mm-hmm.
and hope I'll be even higher after next week because I think he'll get the chain and it'll be even better. But yeah, I'm at a confident 5 and I hope it's higher soon.
Yeah, for me, it's like Eric is like 5 taking the ski lift up the mountain, and EJ
Yes.
is like meeting him there.
DJ's skiing down
Can I
fast.
do this? Wait. Oh,
What are you
What am I
doing?
doing? Like EJ's like falling down the mountain at a 5, and we're at like a 5 here. We're intersecting at a 5, and Eric's like going up the ski lift, but he's like falling down. And Eric's
Well,
like,
no, they'd be going like this. They'd be crossing each other this way.
why this way?
Because if you're going up a ski lift this way, the top of the mountain's there, so EJ can't be falling from this
Oh
direction.
yeah, it's so true. Yeah, I'm like trying to mirror my hands. I don't know what's happening. I'm going for a 5 as well, though. If you couldn't tell, if that wasn't clear.
Yeah. So I people I think want, and they have talked about it. They talked about like, yeah, Eric can't win the game at this point, yada yada yada. Uh-uh. Do not count anybody out. Do I think he has a tough road? Yeah.
Do
Do I
not
think
count
he has a
anybody out.
road?
Isn't that what we're doing right now? Counting people out of the game.
Correct. But do I think he has a road? Yeah. Yeah. And especially, like, I personally think that Eric will be here when the baddies break up, you know?
Sure.
And I think that's when he needs to slip in the cracks. And he has a way to slip in with all 4 of them. So, like, that's what he needs to make it to. He needs to make it through the chain, make it to the final 7, and then be there to split them up. We'll see.
Show. Okay. Jacob, after I
Oh
show.
my god, my best friend. No, I joke. Jacob's a character on this season. He's a character. For me, I've made it very clear that I am not a fan of Jacob's style of gameplay.
Character. You know you're about to say character.
I said character.
Yeah, I know. Never mind. Keep going.
Oh, okay. I I'm not generally a fan of Jacob's style of gameplay of the rat out information at all costs. I'm a very big believer of information is power, and Jacob has let that all go. Unfortunately, all of that really caught up with him last week for unfortunately a train wreck of an HOH. And it has stuck with him this week because the amount of game talk that he's been included in this week has been like zilch. You know what? Like, and everyone talks about it. Like everyone openly talks about like, oh yeah, like Jacob was the rat and everything. People know. So like no one's trusting him with information moving forward. The thing better than last week is no one I feel like is actively targeting Jacob, which is good. Or not only good, like it's great. But Jacob isn't a like people aren't not targeting Jacob because he's a non-threat. Like people I just don't think view him as someone they can seriously work with anymore. Because once you see Jacob's game, you can work around Jacob's game. And why it was working in the early game was because no one saw it and everyone trusted him. But now people don't see it. So he was able to keep quiet this week. He was able to rebuild a little bit. I am raising my score. I'll say that. I'm no longer out of 3. But like I don't think it's an impossibility for him to go home this week either. And
Mm-hmm.
I think he didn't do a lot last week to rebuild and rework. I think Eduardo and EJ are 2 dying allies for him. And I don't know where else he turns because I don't think anyone Jacob is not the person they pull in for a number, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I'm raising my score, but I'm raising to a 4.
Yeah, I mean, I have to go up because I gave him a 3 last week because it was a terrible HOH week. It was like literally I say that I feel like we've never gone lower for an HOH than the person who literally was evicted on that week. And we did less.
Yoshi,
Oh yeah. Well,
Yoshi
um,
and Maris,
what'd you say?
Yoshi and Maris.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so true. I feel like Cal was in there somewhere. But um
No, their HOHs were never that bad.
but anyway. Yeah, I'm going for a 4-2. Because it really just was like he kind of slipped back, not really into the game, but like not out of the game. So he's got a
He slipped out of the game and wasn't actively playing it, but people were still talking. Like people didn't like forget that Jacob was there. You know what I
yeah.
mean? People were still talking about like, oh yeah, Jacob like can
Hmm.
go.
So he's
Because no
he's
one
got
trusts
some
him.
work. He's got some work to do if he wants to stay.
And unfortunately, I think any work that he does comes off as shady and fishy now. Like, you know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
he's another person like Eric, and he doesn't. Here's the thing: Eric realizes that he's in a week to week position. I don't think Jacob realizes it.
Yeah. My battery's at 10%, so let's kind of move along here.
We're gonna wrap this up. Yoshi.
Yoshi. Okay, well, let's summarize what happened this week. Eric won. He was nominated. Then he went home.
I didn't hear anything from Yoshi this week.
That's like actually all that happened.
Like literally, like Yoshi.
He had his eviction speech and goodbye, and then he left. That
And he
was
had to see like the afternoon of. It was kind of like a mouthful.
yeah.
I'm not even sure what it was trying to say.
All I
Um,
really can say is that like this
it
is
was
all your
time.
fault.
It's
Like
about time. This is
this
all
is
his
all
fault.
your like this is like literally like you did this to yourself.
Making attempting no like yeah this is it all stems from his HOH. It was a really bad HOH. There's nothing really more to say. This week itself wasn't atrocious, but there's nothing he could do. So I'm at a 2.
I'm also going to do. Yeah. I just like not very good.
Okay, I mean, let's look at this board.
I know I
Baddies.
look at it and I'm like, okay, mostly green.
I was saying no, we're now in a good like baddies. Give it up for him. I'm very excited. I'm really hoping to see Eric slip into those cracks. I would really love for EJ to stick around and slip into those cracks.
Mm,
I think we are looking at either EJ or Jacob going home in the first eviction of this week, and either Ashley or Eduardo going home in the second eviction of this week. But I think at the end of this week, two of Ashley, Eduardo, EJ, and Jacob.
okay, EJ and Jacob. Yeah. Who
So
will
we'll
it
see.
be?
We'll see who it
Feels like
be.
there are not enough faces blacked out on this memory wall.
Isn't that crazy?
I feel like this season should be ending. It's ending in what? 10 days?
I mean, listen, in a couple of like after we're at this chain, like we're in the end game. We're down to 7.
Yeah, but like the season is ending in like less than 2 weeks. That's crazy. That's wild. I feel like we just started, but also like I am done. Like
No, we've been here for a while. No, I'm not done yet. I'm very excited for the end of this.
I'm excited for the end, but like the
Like
beginning
I'm
has
finally in it. I'm finally in it.
yeah, but it's like I
The
am excited
beginning
to
was
see how it
boring,
finishes.
then it got messy. Now it's the game. Like like
I'm
now I see
excited.
the
I'm
game.
excited to see how it finishes, but only because I feel obligated because like I feel like I've been sticking around waiting for something to happen. And it's been like weeks. Like it's been so long. And it's like now I feel like, oh well, I've already been waiting for this long. I might as well keep waiting, you know? So kind of thing.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I'm here for the baddies. I'm here for Eric,
Yeah,
DJ.
we'll see. Okay. Bye.
I